Let's move now to the men's 400-meter hurdles. Here are the world and American records in this event. The legendary Edwin Moses, holder of both those marks set back in 1983. Kevin Young would be the favorite in this first semifinal, one of the world's best 400-meter hurdlers, and won the first of 4 heats, the fastest time of the day on Kevin Young would be the man to beat, wouldn't you say, Craig Masback, as you look at the complete lane assignments?
Man to beat probably in the Olympics as well, as he has the 2 fastest times in the world this year so far. Keep your eye on lane 6. Derek Adkins, he also ran for the U.S. in the World Championships last year, but just Monday night, he severely hurt his ankle, tore some ligaments, and he told me he just got out of the cold whirlpool on Thursday night and just made his plane to come here on Thursday night to run yesterday's qualifying round.
Well, he could hardly walk, Adkins, after tearing the ligaments in that ankle, and yet here he is trying to qualify for tomorrow's finals. He's a senior at Georgia Tech, and his father, Earl, is here to watch him, Earl Adkins.
These 2 guys considered the heir apparent to Edwin Moses, Andre Phillips, Danny Harris, 3 of the great 400-meter hurdlers that have dominated the world ranks over the last few years. And Kevin Young says he's ready for that sort of responsibility. He wants to win the gold medal for the USA in the Olympics.
Well, Edwin Moses, in fact, himself had entertained some thoughts of trying to come to these trials, but has officially announced now nothing but perhaps some Masters meets in the future for him.
Well, he really was in excellent condition, training in some degree of secrecy, but he hurt his Achilles and then his plantar fasciitis and wasn't able to run. You can be sure he'll lend tips to the American athletes as they head off to Barcelona.
10 hurdles, 33 inches high. Top 4 advance to tomorrow's final. They approach the first hurdle, and it is Kevin Young taking it out pretty quickly. Young first over the hurdle. Also moving up, Nat Page on the outside. Derek Adkins also now gaining ground down the back stretch.
Young has been working on his hurdle technique. There you see him third from the right of the screen. He's going to run the high hurdles later in the week and thinks he has a shot at making the team there.
Approaching the home stretch. And coming now to hurdle number 8. Atkins is up there along with Young, and it is Kevin Young that has a slight lead. Now Atkins on to challenge. Coming up to is Nat Page in lane 7. Atkins hit a hurdle and stumbles as Young takes it across the finish line. And it is Kevin Young, an impressive winner. McGhee also got up to qualify in 4th spot along with Page and Atkins. They'll all advance to tomorrow's finals.
48.19, easily the fastest time in the world this year. That's the kind of time that makes a strong statement to his fellow competitors and the rest of the world.
Coming up now, semifinal heat 2 in the men's 400-meter hurdles. This is the race featuring David Patrick as he tries to qualify for tomorrow's finals, as his wife, Sandra Farmer Patrick, did earlier.
David has had some injury problems. He hurt his hamstring a couple of weeks ago, but Sandra told him, you've got to run this race on memory and guts.
Well, at the Olympic trials, 4th place is the same as last place. No trip to the games, a fate suffered by David in '88.
David Patrick has been ranked among the top 10 intermediate hurdlers in the world for the last decade, but he may always be remembered, and he will never forget himself, his 4th place finish at the 1988 Olympic trials. Patrick ran a personal best, a time that made him the 6th fastest runner in the history of the event. But he missed the Olympic team by 0.03 of a second. Those ahead of him, Andre Phillips, Edwin Moses, and Kevin Young, finished 1st, 3rd, and 4th in Seoul. But for Patrick, his Olympic trials finish earned him a trip to nowhere.
Being 4th compared to number 3 in Olympic trials, it is very, very tough. Because, you know, you only get that title, or you're the alternate. And it doesn't mean anything. 4th is just like taking, you know, really last. Because only thing is important is the top 3 and being actually a team member.
In 1989, Patrick turned disappointment into success as he won the U.S. and World Cup championships. But now at 32, this may be his last chance to make the Olympic team.
This could be the last one. This is my third try. And that's actually, I guess that's really telling my age, you know. But I knew for us it had to be a serious commitment this year. And I knew that this might be my last one. And, you know, and I still had the same attitude that I had in 88. That, you know, as long as I know that I gave my best, you know, I really couldn't be upset regardless of what happened.
And there is David Patrick. And Craig, ironically, this heat in New Orleans may have helped this athlete, where it's hurting most of them.
Well, he's used to the heat from training down at the University of Texas. As we pointed out, though, a strained hamstring has interfered with not only his race schedule, but says he's only been able to train at 3/4 speed in workouts.
And, of course, the heat helping that loosen up perhaps a little bit. As you see the lane assignments for the second semifinal in the men's 400-meter hurdles with David Patrick in lane 5.
Some good athletes in this race. Probably his toughest competition out in lane 6, Kevin Henderson, who was 7th in the Olympic trials in 1988. Many people call that 1988 Olympic trials race, where Patrick was 4th, the best intermediate hurdles race ever.
McClinton Neal in lane 3, the 1990 NCAA champion at Texas Arlington, was 3rd in 91 behind the world champion to be, Sam Matete of Auburn, and Adkins.
He's running well. He ran just over 49 seconds in a meet in Brazil behind Matete earlier last month.
Can David Patrick join his wife in the finals of the 400-meter hurdles, approaching the first of the 10 36-inch high hurdles?
He seems a little tentative at the start, as it's Henderson, 3rd from the left, who seems to be doing well right now.
And McClinton Neal also picking it up in lane 3. Coming into the turn now, it's still McClinton Neal and Kevin Henderson. And Henderson running impressively here as they approach the top of the home stretch. They have 3 hurdles remaining.
David Patrick now right in the thick of things. He's having a little trouble over some of these hurdles with his technique.
And here they come in lane 3, McClinton Neal leading the field, and David Patrick gaining ground. Here comes Patrick to the line, and he will qualify for the finals.
Easily his best time of the year. And for David Patrick, it sets up just the situation he wants. He will go to the final tomorrow, just about 10 minutes after his wife, Sandra Farmer Patrick, will go to the line. And he says, that's in tremendous pressure, but just the kind of pressure I like. He seemed to be having trouble around the turn with his steps and looked like he was dragging his trail leg over the hurdles. But as the other athletes tired in the home stretch, he really called on those reserves, called on that memory and guts that his wife told him to look for, and ran away from them as they came to the line.
Impressive kick by David Patrick, and he will compete in tomorrow's 400-meter hurdle finals, as will his wife, Sandra Farmer Patrick, making a bid for the husband-wife trip to Barcelona and the Olympic Games later this summer. In the finals in the 400-meter hurdles tomorrow afternoon, and we'll be on the air with that as well. So here are the competitors, the 8 of them in that event tomorrow afternoon.